Hi guys, how's it going? Really, how's it going? Because if I'm asked that, I tell everybody, oh, it's going fine. I'm doing great. This is like not bad for me. But if I'm being honest, I'm feeling very overwhelmed. I feel as if some mornings I don't even want to get out of bed. I don't even want to take a shower. I don't even want to do my hair. And that are those symptoms that arise out of my anxiety. If you've had me in class before in the last few years, you probably know my story. I'm sure I've shared with you my issues dealing with depression and anxiety. And if you don't know my story, my name is Loretta Cheney, and I'm an art teacher at Falconer Central School, teaching middle school and high school. And my class knows my history. I am very vulnerable with my students. I tell them a little bit about my past and growing up and the experiences I've had and why I think it all ties into my issues of depression and anxiety. And so for me, what does anxiety feel like? Well, our brains are time travelers, and it likes to travel into the past and it likes to travel into the future. And anxiety, a lot of times, is future bound. And in this time period of our lives, this crazy space in our lives, this history that we will never forget, there's a lot of unanswered questions. There's a lot of projecting into the future. What is it going to look like? And not knowing those answers, and that can lead to anxiety. School-based, if you are a student, I as a teacher am feeling overwhelmed. I sometimes feel as if the walls are just falling in. And in fact, I've drawn out how I feel. I feel like I have a bunch of lists, little to-do notes, do this, do that. And they're just coming at me. They're posted everywhere, and it's creating this sense of overwhelm where I don't feel like I'm going to be able to do it, or I'm not going to do it well. So like one of the notes might be, am I doing this right? I don't even know if I'm doing this right. Am I figuring out the computer and using it to its most potential? Are you even reading it? I don't know. I'm left hanging. I have to turn in something. Maybe you, most likely, if you're a student, you have to turn something in, and that's scary. This one is a big one. This starts my day. I should be getting my assignments done. I should be connecting more. I should be writing. I should be reading. I should be studying. I have a lot of I shoulds. Write that. Write that lesson plan. Write that email. Write that response to somebody's question they had for me. You are experiencing writing out essays, writing out written responses. Fill this paper out. Here's something for you. Here's an email message, and fill this out, would you, when you get a chance? Oh, by the way, I have like 10 more of those in my email stash. Don't forget, remember to sign this document, turn in that assignment. There's my don't forget one. My read this. It goes on and on. And when I'm feeling a sense of anxiety, it's as if all of these to-do notes are like confetti, and they just go like that. That's how I feel. And it creates a mess around me. And I don't even have the energy or the motivation to pick that up. I don't even want to clean the mess. So what do? Well, my students know that we begin each class by sitting still, closing our eyes, and taking a few long, slow, deep breaths. It looks something like this. I check in with my shoulders. I make sure that they are relaxed. I close my eyes gently. There's no competing with this. You're not going to get some major award for doing this correctly. It's just taking a break. And when I close my eyes, I block out that visual world around me that is so distracting, where everything I look at, I want to list and categorize and name and judge and form an opinion about. It shuts all that down. I may take a moment to allow my sense of hearing to enhance, noticing those sounds in my environment, and know that I can bring my awareness back to my breath each time I'm distracted by a sound. I tune into my body. This is body awareness. How am I sitting? Am I sitting with tension and clenching and holding stress inside my body? And I take a moment to just let that all go. And then I tune into long, slow, deep inhales, usually to a count of 4, and a really long, slow exhale, usually double timing it if I can. And I'll show you what that looks like right now. I'm going to do one more because that felt so good. And we sit and do that for just a few minutes so that I'm left feeling as if suddenly I can focus on this present moment. All of those stressors that I had, those notes where I have to knock those things off of my to-do list seem doable. I don't feel so overwhelmed. The stress, it's still there, but it's not as scary. It's not so overwhelming. And I can pick these up one at a time and deal with them. So take little moments for yourself to just stop whatever it is that you're doing. Just stop. Close your eyes and take long, slow, deep breaths and really feel all of those feelings. The cool rush of air in the nose, the warm, comforting air as it leaves the nose, how your belly feels like it expands and then contracts with your exhales, how your chest gently rises and gently falls. All of those feel-good sensations that we take for granted. That breath is there to serve you throughout your entire life. One of my other tips is to set a time limit. So for art, I'm encouraging my students to draw, and I encourage them to set 15 minutes aside for it. In fact, I want them to be done. I take my phone, I set it for 15 minutes, and then I give them something to draw. I tell them, draw something that begins with a letter A, draw something that begins with a letter B. Or we've been doing some sign language letters with our hands and spend 15 minutes. That's it. And then when the timer goes off, shift to something else, shift to another subject, shift to another chore. I think what you will find is it helps you really hone in your awareness and your focus. And by the time you're done, you probably want to keep going because starting is usually the hardest thing to do, just getting started. And one more thing, when you are feeling low, when you are feeling overwhelmed, sad, maybe angry, reach out to a friend, to a teacher, to a guidance counselor, to your relatives, and really tell them that you need them. I shoot a text to my friends sometimes and say, are you able to text right now? Or are you able to chat with me or connect on Zoom or use the phone? Because it makes you feel better to talk through whatever it is that is causing you stress and anxiety or sadness or when you're lonely. And I tell you what, when you reach out like that, don't just let it hang in the wind and just say, you there? Tell them you really need them in that moment because you've just bestowed on them a really, really simple act of kindness. They're going to feel good knowing that you reached out to them, and they're going to so absolutely want to respond to you and help you out. It makes them feel good as well. So there's a dual purpose right there. You're going to feel better. They're going to feel better. So when you're feeling anxiety, and I'm doing all of these things these days quite a bit, I stop everything that I'm doing, close my eyes, tune into my breathing. The next thing I do is to figure out what it is that I have to do, and I give myself a time limit, 15 minutes. I become kind of competitive with it, like how much can I get done in that 15-minute space? And then third, I reach out and say, can you chat with me right now? Can I call you? Will you send me back a text? I just need a little cheering up. I tell them straight out, I need a little cheering up, and it's going to leave you feeling better, and it's going to leave them feeling better as well. So I hope this helps. It helped me just sharing this video with you, and I hope you can turn around and help yourself and help others, because that's really what this is all about. So